All right, welcome to lesson 1-5. This is going to be an extension of lesson 1-4, where we're going to take it a little bit further, and instead of just knowing the slope, we're going to be able to write equations based upon knowing maybe the slope of another line, or seeing if things are parallel and perpendicular. So, non-vertical parallel lines have the same slope and different y-intercepts. The reason why they have to have different y-intercepts is to make them two different lines instead of the same line. So note that vertical lines that do not share points are parallel. We can't use the slope on vertical lines because the slope is undefined. So since it's not a number, we can't say that they're the same. And then we use the word coincide if two equations are exactly the same. So that would mean same slope and same y-intercept. That means that they coincide. So if the slopes of perpendicular lines have a product of -1, so if we also call those opposite reciprocals because when you multiply them together, you get -1. And then horizontal and vertical lines are always perpendicular. And again, we can't use that idea of the product of their slopes because vertical line slopes are undefined and you can't multiply by something that's not a true number. All right, so this first set of directions is asking us to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, coinciding, or none of these. So we want to stay organized. So I'm going to call this equation 1, and I'm going to call this equation number 2, and then I'm going to solve each equation for y. So the first equation, we have x plus 3y is equal to 18. So then I can subtract x from both sides. And on the right-hand side, they are not like terms, so they're not going to combine. So we have 3y is equal to -x plus 18. And then we're going to divide both sides by 3, or divide everybody through by 3. And so when I do that, I get y is equal to -1/3 x plus 6. So right now, what I want to focus on is the fact that the slope of this line is -1/3. So then using equation number 2, if I solve that for y, I've got 3x plus 9y is equal to 12. So solving that for y, I'm going to move the 3x over by subtracting it from both sides. So we get 9y is equal to -3x plus 12. And then if I divide everything through by 9, these cancel and we get y is equal to, now if I reduce this by 3, 3 goes into 3 one time and into 9 3 times. And then this one would reduce to 4/3, dividing the top and the bottom by 3. But remember, the important piece is this -1/3. Didn't realize that was kind of in your way. All right, so if we take a look, since this slope is -1/3, and over here this slope is -1/3, since the slopes are the same, we can say that the lines are parallel. So you could write the whole word, or you could use a slanted pair of parallel lines to answer that question. So take a moment to do number 2 and see what you think. So to save everybody some time, I went ahead and showed the work for how I got the slope. So if you need to take a moment to process that, you can just pause the video and take a look at it and compare it to your work. And so then what I circled is in the first one, we have a slope of 1/2. And in the second one, we have a slope of 1/2. And since those slopes are the same, we can say that they are parallel, either using the whole word or using the symbol. All right, so moving on to question number 3, go ahead and pause the video and see what you can do with that. And again, try and do the work before you check the next, or before you continue. So hopefully you took a moment to pause and try this on your own. So I circled that the first one has a slope of 3/2 and the second one has a slope of 2/3. So you could either notice that those are opposite signs and reciprocals of each other, or you could do the multiplication. So 3/2 times -2/3, multiplying straight across gives us -6 over +6, and that gives us -1. And so the definition of perpendicular is the product of the slopes is -1. So we could use the whole word perpendicular, or we could use the upside down capital T. So the upside down capital T implies that you're saying that the lines are perpendicular. All right, so go ahead and move on to question number 4. And then again, pause the video right now so that you don't see my work, and then come back to me and see if your work matches mine. So take a moment to check your work against mine, and hopefully we got to the same answer. If we didn't, go ahead and pause the video and just check your work with mine. So notice that -1 and 3, they're not equal to each other, nor when I multiply them together am I going to get -1, and so that would mean that this is none of these. They do intersect, but they don't intersect at a 90-degree angle. All right, so go ahead and try number 5. Again, pause the video so that you're not looking at my work while you're doing it. So go ahead and check your work with mine, and if it doesn't match, pause the video for a moment and see what happens. And then, so notice in the first equation, the slope is -1/2, and in the second equation, the slope is also -1/2, and so that means that the lines are parallel. So again, you can use the whole word, or you can just use the slanted parallel lines. All right, one more. Go ahead and give number 6 a try, and pause the video so you're not looking at my work. All right, so taking a look at number 6, I noticed that I have the same slope here. And then something else that I notice is that I have the same y-intercept. So that means that these equations are exactly the same equation. And since they're the same, we call that coinciding. Now, as I was doing this, I noticed that I made an error on question number 2. So if you want to take a look at this one a little bit longer, pause your video. And then coming back to question number 2, if you notice in question number 1, the y-intercept was 6 and 4/3. So that is truly parallel. But if we take a look at question number 2, this slope was 1/2 and this slope was 1/2. So I agree there is a chance that they are parallel. But what I did not notice, and like I said, everybody makes mistakes, is they also had the same y-intercept. So I made the mistake of calling them parallel for question number 2 when I should have said coinciding. So hopefully you were screaming at the screen when I was making that mistake, and now I have made that up to you. All right, so now we're going to move on to question number 8, and I know that some of my numbers go out of order, but there was an original worksheet, and I'm just trying to keep your numbers similar to mine, and I don't do all the problems on the worksheet. So take a moment to read these directions and circle some important words that you see. So I noticed this word parallel, and I noticed this word standard form of the equation, and then it passes through the point with the given coordinates. So this point here is part of my line, and then I need to be parallel to this line. So really the only thing I need from that line is the slope. So I'm going to go ahead and take this line and solve it for y, and to me it looks easiest to go ahead and add y to both sides. And so we have y is equal to 3x plus 3. Notice I just flipped the equation around. So what I need from this line is the fact that the slope is equal to 3. And parallel lines have the same slope. So that means that the slope of the parallel line is also going to be 3. So now that I have that, I don't care about this anymore because these are the only two things that have to do with my new line. So it passes through this point parallel to this line, so the parallel to this line gives me that slope. So I'm going to go ahead and use the point slope formula that said this is x1 and this is y1. So we're going to say y minus the y part of -2 is equal to the slope of 3 times x minus the x part. And so I can say y plus 2 is equal to 3 times x plus 1, doing the keep change change. So if I distribute the 3, we get y plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 3. Now, again, let's go back. It says standard form of the equation. So remember that was ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where we didn't have any fractions or decimals, and the first coefficient had to be positive. So if I move this over, I'm going to move over the 3x, and I'm going to move over the 3, so that everything becomes 0 on the right-hand side. So this is negative 3x, and then I get plus y, and then I get minus 1 is equal to 0. And it looks like I'm in standard form, except that this 3 is negative, and that first one can't be negative. So we're going to divide through by negative 1. And when I do that, I get 3x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So I am in standard form. I used the same slope to get there, and then you can double check by plugging in the negative 1, negative 2 if you wanted to make sure that that point is on the line. So I would like you to pause the video and see if you can try number 9 all on your own. Again, try not to look at my work until you have your work done on your own. All right, so again, we want to be parallel to this line. So I'm going to start solving this for y. So if I add 2y to both sides, these cancel, and I get 2y is equal to 3x plus 8. And then I can divide everything through by 2, and we get y is equal to 3/2 x plus 4. So that tells me the slope of this line is 3/2. And that also tells me that the slope of my new line is going to be 3/2 because we want to be parallel, which means that we have the same slope. So we're going to use this point that it goes through and this slope that helps me be parallel to that line. And now that I've done that, I don't need this anymore. So I always cross it out so that I don't get confused. So again, I'm going to go ahead and use point slope formula. So this is x1 and y1. So I get y minus 5 is equal to 3/2 times x minus 2. So if we distribute the 3/2, we get y minus 5 is equal to 3/2 x minus 3/2 times 2. So again, you can do this one of two ways. One is you could multiply straight across. So we get 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2, and 6/2 is 3. Or you could say that the 2's cancel, leaving you with that 3 right there. And so we get y minus 5 is equal to 3/2 x, and then we get minus 3. So one of the issues that I noticed right off the bat, we said that a, b, and c cannot be a fraction. So I am going to multiply by that denominator to everything. So when I do that, I get 2y minus 10 is equal to 3x minus 6. And then I'm going to start moving everything over. So I'm going to move over the 3x, and then I'm going to move over the 6. So we get negative 3x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. And again, that still gives me trouble because of that negative on the x. So I'm going to divide through by negative 1. And so I get 3x minus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. All right, so if you're having any issues, go ahead and pause, but I'm going to move forward. So for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and do the work to find this slope. So I got a slope of 2/5, and so that means that the slope of the perpendicular is going to be the opposite reciprocal. So that means it's going to be negative 5/2, because if you notice in the directions, it said perpendicular. So I'm going to use this point and this slope to be able to find the equation of my line. And again, just because of the sake of time, I do have a 15-minute limit. I'm going to go ahead and show that work in just a second. So hopefully you got the same work that I did. And I multiplied everything through by 2 to get rid of the fraction. And when I added the 5x to both sides, it made that first coefficient positive. All right, so question number 12, go ahead and find the slope-intercept form of this line to be able to find the slope. So you'll notice that the slope of this line is negative 3/4. So that means that the slope of the perpendicular is going to be the opposite sign and the reciprocal. So we're going to use the 2,7 and this new slope in order to write the equation of the line. So pause this and find that. Hopefully you got to this final answer, remembering to divide by -1. Sorry for the rush.